Yes, guys, it's over. It's over for altcoins. And I'm going to show you today in this episode why we have now an altcoin killer. If you think that is interesting for you and your altcoin portfolio, then you should definitely make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, you like this video, and also smash up the notification so that you will never miss out on really important updates as this video as an example. And now let's get directly into today's content here. Why am I saying that altcoins might be done for good? First of all, I want to explain to you this will not happen tomorrow or after tomorrow or in a week or a month from now. So this will take a lot of time before it potentially can happen. And yesterday happened something that is causing potentially the extinction of altcoins in the long run. And that is another layer built on Bitcoin. The same guy that has introduced zero-proof knowledge as a layer into Bitcoin came yesterday out with an updated white paper of Bitcoin called BITVM, so Bitcoin Virtual Machine. And what it does is explained here in this CoinMarketCap article. So I'm going to read it to you. A recently released Bitcoin white paper argues major altcoin use cases can now be replicated on Bitcoin without a soft fork due to a new computing paradigm called BITVM. The paper claims any computable function can be verified on Bitcoin using BITVM without modifying the network's consensus rules. Computations are verified rather than executed. A prover makes a claim that the function validates for given inputs and outputs. If false, the verifier can submit a fraud proof to punish the prover. Although complex off-chain computation and communication are initially required, the resulting on-chain footprint is minimal. Parties can thus conduct complex stateful applications with no trace left on-chain unless there's a dispute. The white paper asserts that this enables all altcoin utilities to run natively on Bitcoin, rendering alternative cryptocurrencies redundant. It congratulates Bitcoin holders for owning the correct coin with maximum utility. However, some analysts are skeptical that BITVM can fully replicate major altcoin use cases, especially smart contract platforms. The technology remains unproven at scale. Nonetheless, being able to mimic more altcoin functions without trade-offs does increase Bitcoin's capabilities and value proposition. If BITVM works as envisioned, it could bolster Bitcoin's competitive mode versus other cryptocurrencies. So what it basically says is they are not really sure if it can really replicate every single altcoin out there, especially smart contract platforms, because there is no proof of concept yet. But once we have proof of concept and people start playing around with it, we're gonna see where these limitations are and which altcoins might be then actually redundant and which are actually not, because BITVM cannot do the same thing what these altcoins then in certain cases can actually do, where BITVM will reach its limits. So, and that of course will also help to propel Bitcoin to higher prices. So we might see a lot of swings between certain altcoins and Bitcoins in the near future as soon as BITVM will be used more and more by developers out there. But now let's get here into the Bitcoin chart, because also here really interesting things are unfolding right now. When we are looking here on the weekly chart, we got an ugly weekly close candle. We got a doji candle, and now the candle for this week is moving to the downside, which is solidifying a bearish move here with a potential reversal into lower prices, because this is a Morningstar pattern. Yes, so a Morningstar pattern. So a Morningstar pattern is a reversal pattern to the downside and signaling normally a topping formation. If that pattern would be playing out, then by the end of the week, we should be somewhere around $26,400, $500-ish, or at least have gone there with a wick and be hovering around 27,000 to close the week. And then next week would be potentially then the big drop week, where we get then a really ugly candle to the downside and breaking out of this triangle shape with this downwards multi-month resistance line and the multi-month upward sloping support line, where we are running now into an apex, and Bitcoin has to make a decision in which direction Bitcoin wants to break out here over the next coming weeks. So that is something that is a little bit concerning for me right now on the higher time frames. When we are going then, however, here to the 4-hourly chart, there we see that our symmetrical triangle is technically still intact, but we are scratching also here already on the lower end, and the Bitcoin price tries to break here to the downside. So if we get this breakdown, then don't forget, I told you days ago, most likely we go to $27,170 to that underlying support level. If we lose that, then we can open a short, because then we will go back to like 26,500, 600, maybe even 25. That's why I would be opening a short if we lose $27,150, because you can see here it flipped here support, it was here resistance, 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 and since we flipped it into support, we got multiple times now supported. So it is right now a key level to hold for the Bitcoin bulls, and if we lose that, then we will move here to the next one, which will be around $26,000. So that will be a good shorting opportunity if we would lose that specific level here. Then when we're looking here at liquidation levels where we can grab liquidity, then what we can clearly see now, then more and more people start shorting here again. Every time when Bitcoin tries to move higher, a lot of shorts coming into the market. So this was here 2 days ago almost cleaned up. There were like 2 lines or something with liquidation levels. Now we see here a lot more again with highly over leveraged positions that went short here on 50x and 100x. So let me actually, so here you see the dark orange ones is 100x and the lighter yellow ones is 50x. And we have here some light orange dark orange ones, and then here the yellow ones. So you see here's quite some liquidity up for grasp if the Bitcoin bulls would try to push it higher. And also these long-term shorts that are above, they are also still untouched. So and that could be big liquidity. So there could be still a short squeeze be looming here to move the price higher, but 27 also here. If we lose here this cluster on the VPVR, 27,200, 27,000, then we will also move lower to first grab here that liquidity, this underlying one, and then most likely we're going to see a reversal back to the upside. So be definitely prepared for that. If we don't see Bitcoin closing above $27,600, $700, then most likely we're going to go first down, grab liquidity, and then reverse back to the upside. So I want that you are aware of that. Here on the daily chart, for now, it's not looking all too bad, I must say. So, but it starts also to look a little bit more concerning. And that is for that simple reason that the price action is now in the process of touching the second time the EMA ribbon. And normally when we see a breakout like that here to the upside, and then Bitcoin starts to create here this rounding over shape, which looks like a potential reversal, normally we get the reversal, and that is really bad because we don't want to see that. We just flipped bullish here on the EMA ribbon with that yellow string coming out on top, which means we are technically now in an uptrend on the daily chart, and we want to stay in that. But if the price action continues to dance here on top of the ribbon, directly on top of it, then most likely we are going to see here a reversal, and that flip would have been then just a fake out. Potentially. And that's why I'm saying we have to be really careful here with Bitcoin right now. If we are not reclaiming here some key areas, also here you can clearly see $27,700 would be the area to reclaim here, to move higher. As long as that is not happening, we should expect a more downside also on the lower time frames. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade with me together, do it on BYBIT. There you still get $30,000 for using my specific link here. And also on BITGET, you still get a bonus if you use that specific link here to create an account there. And you should also not forget, if you have an account there and you have at least $250 in that account and you have used my link to sign up for that account, then you are eligible for access to my private Discord server. You only have to fill out this form and then you will get access to it if you meet the requirements. First, use my sign up link for BYBIT or BitGet and have $250 in that account. That is the requirements to join the Discord server. I was just sending today already 3 trades into that Discord server. They are slightly up, I think. I'm sharing there a lot of alpha every day. Usually I post trades that I take myself, which are highly profitable. So you definitely want to make sure for the next bull run that you are prepared and in that Discord server. So definitely go and fill out that form. And from, I think, tomorrow onwards, there will be a direct Discord link, but I have a verification bot. So if you are not meeting the requirements, the verification bot will not give you access, just that you are aware of that. Then here on the 12-hourly chart, we can here also clearly see that the Bitcoin price action is now testing again this horizontal support box. I have no problem with Bitcoin coming back into it to dip here one more time into it, but I would like to see a convincing move back to $28,000. In the best case scenario, testing this downward sloping trend line. Even if we get rejected, it doesn't matter, but I would like to see a test of that level. Then a potential pullback, and then actually the proper break through that level. So that would be really nice to see. As long as we are holding that horizontal level, we are fine. So that again is lining up with $27,100. Lose that horizontal level, then we lose also the upward sloping support line, and we are again heading lower. When we're looking at the indicators, it looks like that a reversal is coming here with higher price action, because the stochastic RSI is oversold, the RSI is neutral, and only the MACD is a little bit concerning with not turning around yet, but this might be happening in the next 36 hours. So expect potentially 24 to 36 hours, potentially more downside, and then we should see Bitcoin climbing a little bit again. But in these 24 hours, 36 hours, we could move down to $25,000, and we would then maybe reclaim 26,500, something like that, with the upwards pressure that should be coming into the market based on these indicators. And then I also want to point out that we obviously closed the CME gap from last weekend, but we still have one underlying one. And look again where this one is sitting. It's again sitting at our key level of $27,160, $27,200, more or less. So again, here is a high probability that we will come down to fill this, and from there get then our bounce back to the upside. So you see there's a lot of confluence here right now in the charts that we are actually going to these lower levels, at least for a brief moment before we continue upwards. So, and again, I wanted to point this out for you guys so that you are prepared and can take action accordingly. Guys, that's already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.